Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to introduce our study on complex learning environments, tensions in students' perspectives that indicates competing values. My name is Minghao Kai. The co-authors are Carrie Dimonzap and Tehera Furisi. We know communication and interactions are two critical components of online learning. And the online learning system varied in the extent to which they support a specific interaction or pedagogies. Recently, we can see the advances in software and interacting technology that have enabled an increase in the complexity of online learning system design. However, prior literature or existing research for how to use these designs to support learning mostly is focusing on a single platform or the system with limited functions. So our research question of this study is how do students experience when they're facing a complex online learning environment that integrates multiple technologies and approaches? To address this question, in this study, we cooperated with the pilot training company, and they use an online learning system designed to help their trainees to get knowledge for a pilot license exam. And such a system consists of four integrated platforms. First is a 3D campus system called VR City, and it provides a VR presence experience, like in which the student can create their own avatars and use it to interact with the environments and other students. For example, the picture shows a virtual classroom with a few students. In this VR world, the student could access a Moodle-based learning management system, which called Learning LM Flight. And they can access this kind of learning management system through some kind of virtual computer in the virtual world. And within this learning management system, student can access to interactive multimedia learning contents and also can get some real-time assessment by answering some quizzes. Besides, in the learning system, the student also can access to two simulating platform. First is the some kind of flying simulator, in which the student can practice the knowledge by controlling a plane. And another one is a artifact creation tool called FlyForge. Within this tool, the student can have the opportunity to build a small plane on their own, which may help their understanding of the plane structures or some kind of flying physics. To understanding the student experience with such complex online learning environments, we conducted a focus group study with a group of students who used the system. And the discussion lasts for approximately 1 hour, and there were focusing on why students were trying to learn about flying and what they had previously tried to learn and their experience with the system. The discussion was recorded and the content were coded sentence by sentence and then refined based on the community of the inquiry framework, which mentioned the three key elements of the student success: the social, cognitive, and the teaching presence. The coding results were finally reviewed separately by two critical peer debriefers. Okay, starting from here, I would like to present our consideration for the designing such online learning system based on our findings. First, balance the entertainment with learning. In the system we just mentioned, the student can use some kind of avatar and have a rich social interactions between the teachers and their other students, and get some kind of playing experience in such a VR world. And such a design was increasingly adopted in other online learning systems as well. And students reported it did help to get relaxed or help some kind of team building, and finally lead to some better classroom atmosphere. However, the student also had a concern over too many entertainment-based features may distract people from the learning process. So We think the designer should limit the inclusion of the playing elements, although they are attractive to the student in the beginning, and find a balance to keep students focusing on learning itself. There is another balance to be considered when setting features for motivation. In the systems, the student could see learning process of their own and other students. And such social competition elements was designed to engage students in the learning. However, surprisingly, there were common tensions that it makes students feel stress pressures. It means the existing design failed to explicitly account for the issue of privacy and the learner control over the data. So we think the designer should consider effects of sharing information from students' perspective and give user control, like who and when will see this kind of information. And as a researcher, we should integrate privacy and comparison issues into online learning theory. There was another relative common issue about self-navigation. We found students having trouble in self-navigating the learning process across platforms. And when they facing the relative independent platforms, especially in the beginning of learning, as they have too many options of what they can do, and they have sometimes have difficulty to decide what to do next, or just jump into some part too early and then got trapped. Such phenomena may further decrease their learning motivation. So we think when we have ability to build a complex system that support multiple activities or assistance, a key point is the designer should balance the freedom of explorations with some preset learning sequence. And the learning management system could be a good solution, like providing some kind of structure of lessons and even adapt the learning paths based on the current learning process, by setting some kind of sub-task goal or feedback that can give the student some kind of guidance while still allowing some flexibility. And another thing is setting a primary learning environment which can integrate the support material so the student do not have to frequently jump among the platforms and so as to guarantee a smooth learning process. The last suggestion is being aware of support for collaborative learning. Well, although we know most of this online learning activity was designed to be finished alone, and the students still request for more support for collaboration. And they were not satisfied with the provided tool. And they even try to facilitate the learning with some kind of external resources like Zoom or Discord. That means when designing the learning a system for self-direct learning, we should also consider the importance of collaborative practice as well. And doing so will prompt engagement and enable more authentic learning. So I would like to give a quick summary of our recommendation to the practitioner based on our study. First, try to balance the entertaining with learning so that keep the student focused on their task. And then balance the motivation with the privacy issues. Then try to support the better self-navigation, especially when having multiple learning tools. Finally, try to consider the importance of collaborative learning. And thank you for your interest and attention. And please feel free to contact us if you have any insights or feedback of our study.